updates in regards to the budget and tell you where to watch so we can demystify it and make it more simple for you, and ultimately tell you what's in it for you. Because it was interesting sitting down last night and watching old mate Mr. Frydenberg talk about the budget, which was a huge spend, and it's hard to reconcile because this is the treasurer who was once had the heroes of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan under his belt, but the kind of budget that he's put down would make any Keynesian economist proud, ultimately. So kind of ironic for a Liberal government. But in the post-pandemic ideology, everything goes out the window. So a couple of things that I'll just touch on today, but just to let you all know that we'll be releasing papers on this later on this afternoon after we've put them all together. And for those of you who want to have a deep dive into it, Wealth, Wine and Wisdom this Friday should be 4:30 this Friday. Jason and I will take a deep dive into the budget, what it means for you, what it means for the property industry, what it means for you on a financial perspective. And obviously we'll be tackling the financial issues mostly, but we'll be talking about the budget in general. So that's a good hour, which will be a really deep dive into it. But a couple of the key things that we want to look at for those of you who want to know financially what's in it for you, the WIIFM, what's in it for me radio station. There's a few key things, right? So there's the removal of the work test for non-concessional and salary sacrifice contributions. So effectively, you don't need to be working in order to be able to make contributions to super as you start to get through the latter ages of accumulation, being the 60s, 65, 70, so on and so forth. There's also been a reduction in the minimum age limit for the downsizer contributions. They've shifted that down to 60. Increased in the amount of super savings available for first home buyers, which will be a really interesting one, which I'm sure Jason will shed a lot of light on, and we're going to go into greater depth into that. And of course, there was a huge amount talked about the Royal Commission into the aged care sector, so there's a lot to run through there. Not a huge amount of surprises. You know, we were expecting them to come out spending. They have. Were they spending in the areas that we thought? Yes, in some, but maybe it was a little bit more of a political budget than it was future protection of the economy budget. But anyway, we will dive into the thoughts in and around that later on Wealth, Wine and Wisdom. Keep an eye out on our pages. If you're not, jump across to the Fenton Financial Facebook page, like that, because we'll launch out some of the budget papers, which will be in super easy to understand plain English, so you can wrap your head around it super, super quick, cut out the BS in the middle and figure out where the advantages are for you. Ultimately, it's still a budget. It hasn't been ratified yet. It's got to go through approval, but we'll take you through all of those steps as well. So best place to start is by checking out the page, Fenton Financial. We will drop downloads in there today, so you can download your information guide should you be interested in getting in front of this. And on Wealth, Wine and Wisdom on Friday, Jason and I will dissect it, and we'll have a lot of fun in doing that as well. So stay tuned. We'll continue to dissect this over time. And remember, this is tax time as well. So there were some things that we knew were going to happen from a tax perspective. So for those small to medium business owners, they have pushed the instant asset write-off out to 2023 by the looks of it. So there are a few things in there. I do want to chat to one point, because I can't, and I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember exactly what Frydenberg said in this. And of course, we work with a lot of small business owners, and a lot of you listening to this later on, or even right now, the ones that are on. Say good day, by the way, because it is pretty early in the morning to be listening to finance stuff. So, but drop a little bit of a hey in the chat if you want to. But Frydenberg actually came out and said, and it was a good setup, right? It was small business is the backbone of Australia, is absolutely the backbone of Australia. They are the largest single taxpayer in Australia. And he really ramped us up. And for a moment, I got super, super excited, because I thought, okay, he's going to really focus in on this and focus in on the community of people who really deliver a huge amount to the government, ultimately to spend, whether it's to make fake billion-dollar notes like we saw in the news. But ultimately then he went on to say, we're going to support small business by releasing or just making the laws in around liquidation a little bit softer. A little bit disappointing, I must admit. I was hoping for more, but we'll dissect it and we'll show you how to take advantage of what you're allowed to in order to be able to make your businesses more productive, pay less tax, and have better years in front of you. Anyway, hope you all had a great budget night. Whether you watched it or not, was pretty dry, but this is what we live for. Anyway, stay tuned on this page and also jump on to Wealth, Wine and Wisdom on Friday, and we'll be releasing it for our private clients. Of course, we'll be sending out special communication to all of you and running some tax and budget webinars so that that you can take a really deep dive and get super solid on it. And we've got you. It's all good. As I said, nothing too unexpected in the budget. Anyway, have a great budget day, and we'll keep dropping information. Lastly, keep on this page, Fenton Financial. Jump on there, like it. We'll give you the downloads later on today. Super simple, easy to understand budget, what it means, and on Wealth, Wine and Wisdom on Friday. We'll catch you guys there. Have a great day.